Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back with another mukbang. So today we are doing hard shell tacos with homemade guac and chips. I'm so excited. I've been like craving this for days. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite of the taco, and then we'll get into today's story. And then the tacos are pretty basic. I made them myself also. It's just ground beef with like fresh garlic, onion, jalapeno, cheese, Mexican crema, and hot sauce. So pretty simple. But today's story is about the woman in black at the Drake Hotel in Chicago. It's such an interesting case. It happened back in 1944. But it's about this mom and daughter that live at the hotel. And they're both pretty wealthy from what I've seen, like in the articles and whatnot that I have read about this case. So they live on the 8th floor of the Drake Hotel in Chicago in 1944. It was January. They're pretty cold. Oh yeah, and I wanted extra spice, so I put jalapeno in my guac too. So according to the daughter, Mrs. Goodbody, her mom is Miss Williams, Miss Adele Williams. According to her, they were going up to they were entering their room on the 8th floor when this lady that was dressed in all black in a fur black coat with something like a red rose or something in her hair jumped out of the bathroom and fired shots at the daughter first, but missed, but then shot the mom twice, and one of those was in the head, which ended up being her fatal shot eventually. She died a few hours later, so she didn't die immediately. Do y'all like hard shell or soft shells more? It depends on my mood. So according to reports, there are people that said that they do remember the daughter running out of the room saying, "Stop that lady, she shot my mother." However, the cops were not called until 10 to 15 minutes later after the mom was shot. But before that, before she decided to make the call to the cops, she did call her father, which is Miss Williams' ex-husband. Dun dun dun. So, that's a little fishy. So they found that a little bit weird. And it's even weirder too because, like I said, they're kind of wealthy. And the daughter had $100,000 in the safe that she could not like really explain. And then also nothing was taken, so no jewelry, which Miss Williams had a lot of very expensive jewelry that had a lot of value, especially back then too. So the cops finally show up after they've finally been called. The lieutenant, apparently he was really mean, but he initially thinks that it is the daughter who did it. And the police's theories are that either the daughter shot the mom because they were in a dispute and the mom was threatening to take the daughter off of her will, or that the daughter was suicidal and that they fought over the gun and it ended up in the mom getting killed. I can see the first one. The second one's kind of like, But also back then I know that suicide was kind of like a weird thing to them. Like they still really didn't, I feel like, understand that type of stuff. And so they still can't find the murder weapon, which is the pistol. I think it was a pistol. And also too, they realized that the spare key to that room is missing from the front desk up front at the bottom. They mysteriously find the gun. It mysteriously pops up. Oh my god. I thought I saw something in the view, but I scared the shit out of myself. So after searching the hotel, the gun mysteriously shows up at the bottom of a staircase, smashed, as if it had been dropped down. So I'm assuming that this hotel has like those spiral stairs, or not spiral necessarily, but where you can look down and you can see. But they had already searched that area. So who dropped it there? There are theories that her dad helped. And that maybe if she was the one who shot her mom, that she called her dad immediately for him to come and help, and he was the one who snuck in and disposed of the gun real quick. They end up testing the gun. Or not testing it, but they run the serial numbers on the gun. And this is where it starts to get really, really weird. They find out the gun is registered to a convict, and he actually has killed someone, but at the time when the gun was found, he is in prison serving for that life sentence for killing someone. He can't do it, obviously, because he's in jail, so there's no way that he could have done the crime. However, he does have someone, not just one person, but two people that are related to him that work at that hotel and that was working that night. I think only one of them was, but both of them had connections to the hotel. Sorry if you can hear my dog, she's walking around. She knows I just cooked, so she's like trying to find scraps. So this dude, I believe his name was Mr. Brown. He had two sisters, one named Ellen and one named Anna. Now, Anna, I think, is also kind of troubled, but not as much as Ellen and the brother. So Ellen is a wild child. She is crazy. And even people who grew up with her claims that she might have had some mental issues. It's never been officially said if she did have mental issues, but people have implied that maybe that's why she is the way she is. But from what I've read, she's just a criminal. So, you know. So Ellen was the front desk clerk who is in charge of the keys. So that's pretty fishy. Because the spare key was missing, and then suddenly a few hours later she's like, oh yeah, it appeared on the desk somehow. I don't know who put it there. Girl, come on now. So let's talk about her past for a second. Ellen has been married at least 3 times. One of the times didn't really work out. She met this other guy, married him super quickly, and then she gained access to all his assets. So like she also bought a bunch of jewelry under his name, and then also insured it, or put it like under their name somehow. And she insured it, and then she tried to claim that it was stolen, so she could get even more money out of it. However, it was red flagged by the police. She was taken in for a polygraph test. And so she was given a lie detector test about that, and the articles that I read really don't really say what happens to her after that, but mysteriously her husband ends up being killed or dies very mysteriously. It's always been suspected that she had something to do with it, but there's no real proof, so no one has ever really been able to prove that she did something to him. Also, too, might I add, Ellen was only married to him for a few weeks, and within those few weeks, she cleaned out every penny he had, all the jewelry and assets he had, and he ended up mysteriously dead. So, Ellen is a fishy bitch. She is. And then her sister Anna is described as a hotel prowler. So the police think it's kind of weird. And they start looking at her more than the daughter. And they interviewed people that knew them. And they were saying that Ellen is nothing but a cold-hearted person, and that all she cares about is jewelry because of the money. And that is one thing that Miss Williams had a bunch of, was jewelry. But it's weird because nothing was taken. So maybe had the daughter might have not have been there, maybe they would have gotten away with it. The police try to get something out of her, and they're not really getting anything out of her. And two, all they have really is just like stipulation. They don't really have like cold hard evidence that it was her. But also too, what's very, very interesting is that when the mom was dying, she did say a few things. At first, she kept on saying body, which is the daughter. She kept on saying good body over and over again. And then she finally said, I don't know her, but she was wearing a black fur coat and she had a rose in her hair. They also asked Ellen, do you own a black fur coat? And she says, well, yeah. So they did try for a very long time to try and charge her with the murder, but it never held up. I think twice or 2 to 3 times she was charged with it, but it just never held up. Wasn't enough evidence to be like, she's the murderer. Because also too, this is in Chicago, so I'm assuming that there are quite a few people that do have fur coats. So to this day, almost 100 years later, it's about 20 years from 100 years, no one knows who killed Miss Williams. And apparently I was reading that this hotel, they do ghost tours. But it's kind of strange because they don't know if the story with workers has just gotten morphed over time, which is very common with stories. And just time, and it happened in 1944, so, you know, hearsay and stories evolve over the years. People claim that on the 8th floor, you can see a lady walking around in black, which is cool. But the thing is that pretty much after the murders happened, Ellen dipped out, and the sister did too. And the mom was the one who was murdered on the 8th floor, and the mom was not wearing a black coat. So it was kind of like, oh, like, I saw the woman in the black coat in the black. I was like, okay, but she didn't die here, so how is her entity here, you know? Or maybe the Miss Williams is walking around in the bitch's coat that killed her. You know, you never know. But they still kind of roll with it seems, and do ghost tours, so. But that was a really interesting case, and I don't think I've ever heard of this story before. Oh, it's not really a story, it is real life. And it's unfortunate too because no one's left, you know, alive from the story, because I think when Miss Williams was killed, she was like in her 50s. So she was born in like 1890, and then her daughter was, I think, in her 20s or 30s. So everyone involved is well gone, you know. So the world will never know the true story of what happened to Miss Williams. Take one last bite of this guac, and then we will wrap it up. I hope y'all grabbed a snack and ate with me. That's one of the things I love about mukbang videos, is I love sitting and eating with people, because I don't know, it's just, I enjoy it. Well guys, that is it for today's mukbang. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite meals by far, besides like the first video I did with the Asian food. But I love tacos. Who can relate? And I really enjoyed this video, this story too that we talked about in today's video. Yeah, but I'll see y'all in the next video. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. I love replying and like interacting with people, so feel free to interact. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.